All right, we are live. It's been a bit since I've been able to do a video. I am actually streaming right now to both Facebook and my YouTube channel. I'm just kind of giving that a shot, seeing how it goes. Uh, the danger with that is sometimes you can kind of get some slowdown. My connection here in Maui is not incredibly fast, so let's just hope for the best. Had a great weekend. Missed you guys. Uh, Today we are going to talk about what the advantages of agencies are in comparison to freelancers. And I just realized I made that title card wrong. Oh well, I am not editing anything ever. Never gonna edit anything. I refuse. Everything is gonna be live. That's what I'm doing because it just is easier to produce content that way. So basically, I'm just going to say, a lot of you know, I've talked about this. I used to work for an agency for about 5 to 6 months. And one thing I've kind of learned a lot about is the differences between their work and what are the advantages for freelancers versus an agency. So I'm a freelancer now. I've worked in a couple agencies. I basically distilled it down to kind of 3 key areas from my perspective that are the biggest differences. The first area is predictability and process. So, and the second area is secrecy and security. And the third area is specialization. Okay, so let's just get started. The first thing, predictability and process. Okay, so if somebody's throwing down like a lot of money, the last thing that they ever want to happen is for their money to be wasted. That for a business owner is the ultimate disaster. That is, the world is over, done deal, bad. Most business owners will pay a lot of money for assurance, especially if it's the type of assurance that saves them a lot of time. So when you're offering your services, you need to think about how you can be someone that offers assurance, how you can be someone who offers a clearly defined product. This is especially hard when you're working in creative fields where we're constantly dealing with human elements and communication. The way to really get it down to where you can consistently produce good creative work primarily falls in your process. So as you develop as a designer, everybody kind of has their own process, but the more developed your process is, the more likely you're able to produce consistent and quality results. So that's it. Number 1, predictability and process. Work on it. Number 2, secrecy and security. My last job, we had a ton of really huge clients. I'm actually afraid to tell you who the clients are because I may have signed an NDA that restricted me from telling you who those clients are. I definitely worked with sensitive material at that agency job to where I would be afraid to tell you some of the content or some of the problems I dealt with while working there. When a big company has like volatile information that could largely kind of cost quite a lot of money, it's very important to them that information is kept on the down low and it's kept, with a lid on it. Being that's the case, a lot of those bigger companies are willing to pay a lot more if they get the assurance that they're not gonna have to lose that information. In addition to that, I also said security. As a web developer, we work with security a lot where websites are getting hacked. It's something that is actually all too common, especially recently, especially in WordPress if you don't update your WordPress. So update your WordPress version. But, you know, as you kind of go through and see these things, you understand that the companies that are paying more, it's very important for you to keep their intellectual content safe. So that's something to think about. And it's not even just actually doing it, it's presenting and speaking in a manner in which builds that into your product and your service, whether you're an agency or a freelancer. In general, since we're talking about agencies versus freelancers, agencies tend to give an air of security, of secrecy. Because all of the people are working physically in the same room, it kind of attributes one to think that they will be more able to maintain a tight lock on information. So that's number 2, secrecy and security. Number 3, and in my opinion, this is the biggest one as far as differences between freelancers and agencies, is specialization. Freelancers, at least all of the ones I know, including myself, we tend to work with many different kinds of companies. I mean, I work with bands, shoe companies, you know, science companies, big corporations, construction companies, and I could just talk all day about all the different types of companies that I build sites for. All of the agencies I worked for, more so than the quality of their work, more so than how able they were to have security and secrecy, more so than their predictable process, the ones that made the most were the ones that specialized in a certain area. When you go to a pitch in front of a big boardroom, you need to earn the respect of that audience, the CEO and the CFO and the whatever FO, whatever CF, whatever O in that audience. You need to earn their respect. And one of the quickest ways to do that is to speak their language. So if, for example, you're going to work for a microprocessor company, they're going to be really impressed if you know a lot about processors, and they're going to be really impressed if you know a lot about the language, if you know how to speak the language they do, if you know how to speak the tech language. And then they're going to like you because they're going to know that they can communicate with you. And for them, that's huge because they're going to save time being able to talk to you and convey their ideas to you because you have a similar plane in which you exist. So, third reason, again, is specialization. So if you want to make a lot more money in the agency format, specialize. I don't want to talk too much about the freelancer side and the benefits of that, but obviously if you're a freelancer, the fun would be is that you get to do a lot of different things, and that's exciting. It's definitely exciting for me. All right, so I hope you got something good out of this video. I kind of just threw it together. I promise you this information is valuable. If you want to hear more stuff like this or see more videos like this, make sure to start following me and share this if you think you know somebody who would find it interesting. That's about it. I'm going to check out. Thanks a lot, guys.